Please let me introduce the Deputy Vice-Chancellor for Research, Professor Sakkie Pretorius. Professor Pretorius is a pioneer in molecular microbiology, biotechnology, and the translation of research outcomes to industry. Professor Pretorius.
Thank you, and good afternoon, colleagues, friends, alumni of the CHI, Center of Health Economics, and of course also the partners. It gives me great pleasure to open session 2 of the 21st anniversary of the CHI. I trust that you will enjoy this session as much as you have enjoyed this morning's informative opening session. Allow me to say a few words about Macquarie first. We often hear how universities attempt to differentiate themselves from the pack. Macquarie is no exception here. And when we say Macquarie was founded back in 1964 to be distinctive, but what does that mean? In what way are we distinct? And how are we, our 4 faculties, how are they distinct? Arts, the business school, science and engineering, health, medicine, health, and human sciences. How are they different from faculties in other universities? If I have to summarize the distinctiveness in one word, I would say consilience. In my own term, with my thick accent, hunting in packs. The term consilience was coined in 1833 by the polymath William Whewell, the same person who coined the term scientist. He defined the term consilience as the principle that evidence from independent, unrelated sources can converge on strong conclusions. Put differently, the synthesis of knowledge from different specialized fields of human endeavor unites the sciences and humanities. This unity of knowledge is a powerful dynamo of scientific and technological advances. It is the synergism of our wide variety of our discipline synergies and generate new knowledge, creative outputs, and impactful solutions to grand societal challenges. In the spirit of consilience, 8 years ago, our research community here at Macquarie came together to decided that at a high level we will focus on 5 future-shaping research priorities: healthy people, resilient societies, prosperous economies, a secure planet, and innovative technologies. So building on successes to date, and there are many, Macquarie will continue to pioneer health outcomes, integrated healthcare, and lifelong learning for wellness in our aging world. There will be a focus to understand culture in our changing world and help build ethical, just, and inclusive communities. Macquarie's capabilities will be dedicated to help strengthen economic productivity, to promote prosperity in our diverse world. Sustaining our independent world and exploring our place in the universe will be a key priority, as is utilizing and developing advancements in frontier technologies, systems, designs, and creative practice. Our research community also decided at the time on the following 4 high-level research objectives: to accelerate its world-leading research, to prepare world-ready higher degree research candidates, to become an actively engaged, world-recognized research collaborator and partner of choice, and to deliver research with world-changing impact. The success of the past 58 years has very well positioned this distinctive Australian university to achieve its research objectives. Team Macquarie's diverse tapestry of interconnected disciplines its research priorities, and its talented group of researchers enable it to energetically pursue world-leading research with world-changing impact. I would like to pause here and thank the CHI and, of course, the AIHI for how they embrace the concept of consilience under the leadership, in this regard, Professor Enrico Coira, who over 3 decades has been a preeminent leader in health informatics. That includes e-health, digital health, artificial intelligence, to name but a few, in Australia and globally. In more recent times, Enrico and the CHI team at Macquarie, with the ongoing collaboration of the CHI's fine alumni, and I've seen a few familiar faces here today, created the alliance with CSIRO and RMIT, and they have formed the Australian Alliance for AI in Healthcare. This alliance brings together almost 100 national and international stakeholder organizations to build a singular national research and translational community that has the capacity to address the safety, quality, ethics, governance, and workforce challenges of AI in healthcare in Australia. This alliance provides thought leadership and action in this critically important area. But now I want to go more globally. It is true that we live and conduct our research in a very uncertain, highly contested, and conflict-prone world with major challenges. We are confronted with significant demographic, environmental, economic, and technological challenges. We will have to work together to mitigate the impact of, for example, the slowing population growth, rising global median age, rapid urbanization, and mass migrations, intensifying climate change, environmental degradation, declining biodiversity, and eroding human security, rising national debt, fragmenting trading milieu, and evolving competitiveness, converging technologies, accelerating transformation, and the race for technological dominance. Futurists say that we are faced with 5 main scenarios. 1, a renaissance of democracies. 2, competitive coexistence. 3, a world adrift. 4, separate silos. And 5, tragedy and mobilization. I think you will agree the latter 3 scenarios are starting to look more likely than the former 2. How do we keep our nerve and push ahead with our research? One thing is certain, and that is that technologies like AI and data science will play a major role in transforming human experiences over the next 2 decades. In this era of a hyper-connected world, technological advances at warp speed, scientific convergence will definitely spark innovation that we need. Alongside timelines for innovation that will shrink, technologies that will rapidly diffuse globally, and competition for technological superiority will grow. In this global context, how will Australia's research then and the research enterprise look like by, for example, 2040? I worked with somebody named Dr. Thomas Barlow, known to many of you, and together we came up with very controversial at times scenarios for research in Australia. I'll go through them. The first one is research expenditures. The scale of Australian university research will be 50 to 60% larger by 2040. What will be the main sources of research income? The main source of research funding will remain largely government funding. I'm saying this in the context of all of the rhetoric that we hear. External research income. The preeminent Australian universities will be equally, if not more, focused on research as they are on teaching. Research teaching specialization. In some universities, not all, fewer than 1/3 of the university academic staff in preeminent universities will be in roles that combine teaching and research. The majority will be in specialized teaching-focused or research-focused roles. Global competition. Globally, the number of research-active universities will soon exceed 2,000. There are more or less 20,000 universities across the world. Research assessment. The global research literature will double. International collaboration. 2/3 of Australian university research output will involve international co-authors. Dominant regions. North America will still be the leading region for high-impact research, followed by East Asia. European institutions will still be influential, but at reduced influence and significance. Industry engagement. Business will account for 2/3 of Australian R&D. Where are the high growth domains? The technological research domain will share an equal significance alongside physical and life sciences, while medical and health sciences will entrench their dominant position in the research landscape. Technological drivers. The biggest breakthroughs that we can expect in every field, that includes humanities, will be driven by research groups that are most active in seizing and leading a new paradigm on automation and a compute-intensive approach to experimentation, observation, and analysis. Political fashions. There will be a resurgence in government investment far beyond today's popular themes of health and environment. That is code for there will be more investment in technological focused areas. Intellectual fashions. Intellectual trends will come and go with increasing speed. So originating or picking high impact trends will be more important than ever before. And the professional judgment and expert intuition required to discriminate in this regard will be more valuable than ever. Knowledge fragmentation. Some Australian universities may introduce more overarching multidisciplinary structures, but all will have subdisciplinary specializations and the fundamental disciplinary specialities will continue to provide the core organizing principles of research. We should never try and put multidisciplinary research above disciplinary scholarship. You first have to, in the vertical of a T, become a deep scholar and be excellent in your subdiscipline before you can really productively interact with other scholars of equal standing in their own specialities. For Australian universities aspiring to excel in research in 2040, there will be advantages in aiming on the following things. Empowered, high scale, more research intensive, and better equipped to invest their own resources in making their own strategic decisions. In other words, not to be dictated by a specific company or industry or government, that we will still be the thought leaders as research academics and take the lead in these things. Globally facing, we will have to be deeply networked internationally and engage most especially with partners in countries with strong economies on both sides of the Pacific. Selective, i.e. focus, we will have to be more selective about the subfields in which we specialize and about how and where we publish, so as to maximize global perceptions and quality of our research outputs and outcomes. Technological. We will have to become a lot more technologically active, both in developing breakthrough technologies and in adopting new technologies to transform research practice, as what Enrico and the CHI team within the AHI and the Alliance are trying to do. Persuasive, not merely relying on today's fashionable capabilities, but able to create compelling cases for investment in other areas too. As you are pioneering new areas in the coming years, we will have to make sure that we take the lead once again and not be dictated by government, by industry. That doesn't mean we ignore them. We just have to say, we listen, we take those things on board, and then we go back to what our expertise, our scholarly intuition tells us to do. We have to be independent. So in my view, the CHI, with their focus on excellence and collaboration at scale, because you need three things. 1, excellence. 2, focus, where your excellence is, and build scale underneath those foci. So in my view, this CHI, with their focus on excellence and collaboration at scale, is very well placed to make significant contributions to build the next generation for this uncertain future. If you look at the future, it's sometimes really scary to see how chaotic the world is at the moment. How many forces are trying to disturb the rules-based world order? Where can we, in our little corner of the universe, play a role and help this world back onto the road where we can have a free, prosperous, and inclusive society? We should never lose hope to focus on our areas, to work together and keep doing what we are doing. I'm saying this because a wise person once said, we cannot build the future. We don't have control over that future, but we can build the next generation to prosper in whatever future comes our way. I want to congratulate the AHI, the CHI, the Alliance, and what you are doing in a very critically important area. I hope you enjoy this session. I'm sorry that I couldn't attend some of it this morning, but I'm sure I will catch up with Enrico and his colleagues over the next few days or weeks. Thank you very much.